China has one of the biggest tank fleets in the world, and with increasing numbers, it might happen that in the future you might face one of those tanks. So in this video, I will show you what would be the best way to neutralize Chinese tanks if you're just a regular infantryman with a rocket launcher or an ATGM. First, I want to stress out that the Chinese tanks are probably the easiest tanks to take care of out of the bunch that we took a look at before. There appears to be a weird choice about those tanks, and that is the fact that they chose to not equip a single tank with a side hull protection. Not a single Chinese tank has any added side armor and has just simple steel plates for protection. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and go one by one. The most common Chinese tanks are ZTZ-96 tanks. There are currently ZTZ-96A and ZTZ-96B tanks in active service. For you, they are the same tank. There aren't any important differences that should bother you. All you have to know is that these are the areas covered with composite armor and explosive reactive armor, and you should avoid hitting them. Now, what immediately comes to attention is the exposed lower front plate, which is larger than on the other Chinese tanks, which we will get to later. This lower plate is just steel. The actual thickness is unknown, but it is certainly not thick enough to stop any rocket or missile, and as such, would be a perfect area to shoot if you are forced to engage the tank from the front. Now we get to the juicy part, the side armor, or the lack thereof. The hull sides have no protection other than a simple side plate like old early Cold War tanks. You see, modern tanks usually have at least something to protect the first third of the side armor in order to prevent the shots that come from the 30-degree angles from penetrating the tank's side, since the sides are the most vulnerable part, since the rear is not very likely to be exposed. You can often even see tanks having the entire sides covered with extra protection. Chinese tanks don't have anything. Their sides are completely exposed and as such would probably fail to stop even old RPG rockets from the 30-degree angle. The turret sides do have added ERA protection, but there is a problem. For some reason the ERA is placed on a mount spaced away from the turret sides, and I do mean really spaced away. The ERA mount is spaced away with big steel plates which are thin and flat. This makes it easy to actually hit them and have the shot penetrate the sides when impacting from the 30-degree angle, because most of the ERA doesn't even protect the sides of the turret from the 30-degree impacts. It seems to be designed only for the side protection because when you look at it from the angle, the ERA doesn't even cover the turret. What boggles my mind the most is the fact that they haven't put at least cage armor as the spacing for the mounts, but simple flat steel plates. The cage armor would at least have some effect, and we can see such design on some VT4 tanks they have exported. Why isn't this done on their domestic tanks? I have no idea. And since the hull has no additional side protection, it's easy to actually score a hit on the autoloader carousel and completely destroy the entire tank. Most of this is even the case for ZTZ-99 and the ZTZ-99A, which is the latest Chinese main battle tank. The only thing you need to keep an eye out on is the lower front plate. It is noticeably smaller on ZTZ-99 tanks, so it is harder to hit, but is still just a simple steel plate. Of course, the front armor got significantly upgraded, but we won't bother with that since it's not very likely ZTZ-96 will be penetrated frontally by a rocket launcher either. The sides on ZTZ-99s are practically the same as on the ZTZ-96. No extra side protection, and the side turret ERA is spaced away on the same type of amount as on ZTZ-96, making it easy to penetrate from 30-degree angles. With a rocket launcher, it's an easy kill from the side, no problem whatsoever. Now, the ZTZ-99A does have some sort of a soft kill active protection system, but there is no official information on what it actually does. Most of it is speculation. The most common speculation is that it uses a powerful laser to counter the guidance systems of incoming missiles. If that is indeed true, then shooting it with an ATGM might not be a way to go, since it would be futile to do so, but as I said, we don't actually know how it works. The Chinese have developed a hard kill active protection system, which is supposedly called the GL5, but have so far not adopted it in active service. It was demonstrated though and proved to be effective, but so many countries have developed hard kill systems in the past without adopting them, so we sadly don't know what the future holds for this system. Now, about their light tank, yeah, the same story as any other tank they have, no side protection. But they did actually go out of their way to cover up the lower front plate in ERA, so that is a plus. You will also see on the export variants of the tank, the VT5, actually side-mounted hull ERA. Why isn't this done on domestic tanks? I have no idea at all. This VT5 has covered lower front plate in ERA, has side-mounted ERA, and actually has cage armor on the turret's side. Why? Why is an export light tank better protected than domestic MBTs? I have no idea. All of this is really weird. I hope that they will change their mind and start putting ERA on the hull sides and hopefully actually adopt the hard kill active protection system. But that would be all. If you like my content, consider supporting me on Patreon. It helps out a lot. Or leave a like or subscribe to the channel if you are new. That also helps. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a nice day.